and welcome to News Tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi on sign language. Elizabeth Nakakoni, let us dig into it. President Yoweri Museveni has said government will continue investing massively on public goods and with the goal of lowering the cost of doing business. He made the remarks at the Uganda-UAE Business Forum in Kampala. The forum serves as a pivotal platform for trade, investment and cultural exchange between the two countries.
Kaguta Museveni has officially opened the second annual Uganda-United Arab Emirates Business Forum at the Speak Resort Hotel, Munyonyo. At the event, President Museveni wooed potential investors, assuring them of a strong, resilient, broad, lucrative investment destination.
The minerals which Modern was talking about, like the iron ore, the gold and all that, the fertilizers, phosphates. We have got a huge deposit of phosphates. The aluminium, the high value minerals like lithium. We are going to produce our solar batteries, our lithium batteries for our electric cars, which we are already making here.
President Museveni guaranteed the UAE delegation and those in attendance that government is concentrating its resources and efforts on public goods in order to ease the cost of doing business.
We are now just beginning. For instance, electricity, the cost of electricity per unit is still a bit high. We want to bring it to 5 cents per unit. We are going to work on the railway so that the transport costs are lower, because we are now mainly using road from here to the ocean. And on the side of Kenya, the ocean is 800 miles away from here, on the side of Kenya. On the side of Tanzania, the ocean is 1,000 miles away from here. And we are now saying that this long distance is better, it is covered by rail rather than by road transport.
Uganda and the UAE have strong bilateral ties. With the continuous engagement in the commercial and economic business front, the opportunities for growth and development are immense.
We believe, first of all sectors are important. There's no sectors less important than the others. However, we believe that there are sectors in Abu Dhabi, if we concentrate on the impact of the GDP will be higher. Again, we have a vision, we called it Falcon economy. We want by 2040 our GDP to reach $1 trillion, that's in Abu Dhabi.
His Excellency Rashid told me and the Right Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda that he is very willing to bring for us companies to come and do value addition on our gold. Your Excellency, UAE alone has 14 gold refineries.
According to President Museveni, Africa is on the right socio-economic growth trajectory now that the continent is working towards addressing the traders through the African Continental Free Trade Area. He argues that a fragmented African continent was a major impediment to trade development aspirations. Wadulo Makanold, Juman Samba, UBC News in Munyonyo.
And corruption has remained a major impediment in the growing foreign investors in Uganda. The head of State House Investors Protection Unit, Colonel Judith Nakalema, says collaboration between State House Anti-Corruption Unit and State House Investors Unit is working tooth and nail to fight graft.
At least 27 complaints related to investment have so far been received by the State House Investors Protection Unit. Of the 48 meetings held, majority of which are foreign investors. According to Colonel Judith Nakalema, some unpatriotic corrupt officials have played a big role in soliciting money from foreign investors, something that has made it difficult for investment in Uganda.
Delays caused by red tapeism And I think, in my view, all that is caused by lack of patriotism amongst some officers that over-delay investors in giving them like licenses, taking long to give them certificates, those licenses. And so many local investors, especially Chinese and some Indians, we handled some Koreans and some investors from UK.
Nakalema also clarified to the public on the roles between State House Investors Protection Unit that she heads and the State House Anti-Corruption Unit.
The State House Investors Protection Unit is meant to specifically, or maybe, if I may use the word, specialize in protecting investors for a thriving investment landscape in Uganda. We don't limit ourselves in receiving complaints, but we wanted to guide the public that our line of duty is mainly on the protection of investors, and the way we protect is through collaborative methods with other stakeholders in the investment sector, and these include ministries, agencies, and departments.
The head of State House Anti-Corruption Unit, Brigadier General Henry Isoke, said that the two entities will continue to collaborate and fight the vice of corruption.
Their investigative capacity as a unit, the new unit, is limited. And that is where we will come in handy. For example, if some cases of forgery are discovered in terms of procurement of certain documents, cases of forgery are detected, or any other cases of criminality which may require deep investigations and certainly all relating to corruption, there will always be an interaction.
Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
And Police Crime Intelligence Department has arrested 3 suspects over smuggling improvised explosives into Uganda from Tanzania through Mutukula border. The police spokesperson, Rhoda Ngonzi, says at least every week security intercepts explosives being smuggled through the border point into the country.
The police have arrested 3 suspects for smuggling improvised explosive into Uganda through Mutukula. These include Bwambale Benedette, Kizito Muzafaru, and Semaguru Ronald. These had planned to deliver these 4 bomb boxes to the one Jamal Daras at Arua Park in Kampala.
They managed to arrest one Bwambale Bennett, who managed to come and pick the luggage. And upon his arrest, he informed us that he was supposed to deliver the luggage, the explosives, to Jamal Durasi, who is a transporter at Arua Park. We also, because of that, we managed to arrest the 3 suspects: Bwambale Bennett, a load at William Street, Semaguru Ronald McDonald, a turnman of the bus company. Then we also arrested Kizito Muzafaru, a resident of Mutukula.
Security confirms routine weekly interception of bombs entering Uganda through Mutukula.
What our crime intelligence teams did is that they continued monitoring who would receive this consignment of suspected explosives all the way from Mutukula.
Meanwhile, police have justified the recent operation against the National Unity Platform supporters on the 9th of October. NUP had organized an independence prayers, which police detected as black independence.
The response of police in halting the activities of the NUP in Kamocha was based on the intelligence that after the press briefing, there were chances that they were going to hold illegal processions within the Kamocha area and along Chira Road. And these are activities that are unregulated and have a potential of breaching peace and safety within the respective communities and even disrupting traffic flow along these major.
Politicians are cautioned on the continued castigation of military officers' operations and police force. Police management has responded to the concern over medal-awarded senior officers on the Independence Day, where some of whom are military officers serving in police. Abdul Nasir Lubwama for UBC.
3 senior army officers have vowed to rally behind the senior presidential advisor on special operations, General Ngonzi, and support his dream of peaceful transitioning of power from the NRM government to the next generation. 3 generals, Lieutenant General Jim Besigye Owesijie, Major General Kashaka Stephen, and Major General Taban Amin, have vowed to support a fellow freedom fighter for a better Uganda.
Instead of football matches between Winyoro and Toro, as well as that between Kigezi and Ankole sub-regions, have acted as curtain raisers for team-building activities for the MK movements in Greater Western at any events hosted in Kiryandongo district. The well-attended activities from both members of the general public and top-ranking government officials was mainly addressed by top army chiefs.
This is time for us, the old generation, to hand over the mantle to you, the younger generation. We are ready to hand over the mantle to you. We are prepared. We are happy about this because we have now caught up with age. We are no longer energetic enough. The need to consolidate our achievement with the new generation led by General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, who has expressed interest in leading the young generation.
The retired and serving men had no kind words for poor-oriented leaders like Robert Chagulanyi of NUP.
Kwa hivyo kama mtu mwingine anakuja danganya mimi hapa, kama mimi iko nakuta mtu hata mmoja anakuja kukutana na mtu hii, uta regret kukuja hapa.
Juzi nimesikia Bob Wine anazungumza kwa rally, anazungumza Waganda. Ukitoka hapo ukienda nje kama Tanzania, kama Kenya, ambao wanazungumza Kiswahili, Rwanda, Burundi, hivi ni Congo, DRC. Sisi yote wanatuita Waganda. Kwa nini wewe unataka kutubagua? Because you are born in the capital city which is called Kampala. Kampala ni asisi wote.
According to Lieutenant General Jim Besigye Owesijie and Major General Kashaka Stephen, it is through young and focused leaders like General Muhoozi Kainerugaba that Uganda can see its dream.
Munataka haki? Wacha mzee na mwambia sisi haki, yeye iko wapi, mtoto wake iko wapi? Ndio tutapata. Sisi yote iko nyuma ya Muhoozi.
Support MK. That is the only savior now we have. Munasikia? The only what? Savior we have.
Consolidating what has so far been achieved under the NRM leadership is one key assignment handed to this generation.
I want to tell you that I will go down on my knees to beg those who want to drag our country into bloodshed and persuade them not to do so. Because this is out of experience. People died.
The general's communication excited the MK movement foot soldiers.
President Museveni now, MK tomorrow.
We want peaceful Uganda. We want peaceful transition of power.
People love General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. Whenever they hear that there is a function for General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, people walk distances and distances.
And we are looking forward to working with more generals who have not openly come out to support the MK movement. because for us we shall make sure that the stability of this country is guaranteed.
The events were organized under the stamp of the MK Movement National Vice Chairperson for Western Uganda, Bala Marugahara. A 5-minute display of fireworks lighted up the skies of Kyandongo as thousands celebrated Uganda's new age. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
And Mbarara City Mayor Robert Mugabe has thanked President Yoweri Museveni for his instrumental role in availing the parish development to Ugandans. It's after establishing that over 98% of the parish development model funds have been disbursed to beneficiaries.
Uganda Broadcasting Corporation's Mbarara-based radio has hosted an event during which the PDM Secretariat and UBC radios, TVs and social media entered a partnership to enhance coverage and monitoring of PDM funds.
Obulemezi oburukuba buruho sente zaba zitashikire abantu b'obutosha.
This collaborative effort, known as PDM UBC Mbarara, signifies a joint mission between UBC West Radio in Mbarara City and the PDM Secretariat. The initiative aims at engaging the local population in the parish development model, a concerted effort to uplift living standards and eradicate poverty, especially focusing on Greater Ankole.
We need to help the population to know that the money is not meant for them to enjoy. The money is to help them come out of poverty, which is a very big problem as we talk, because we have security, we have education, health is okay, but the problem now has been poverty.
The resident city commissioner of Mbarara, Lieutenant Colonel James Mwesije, asked Ugandans to utilize PDM funds with diligence and dedication. His message resonated with Ime Katera, the resident district commissioner of Mbarara, who echoed the sentiments of prudent fund utilization.
What has been killing other programs of government is that people are always not in the know. Now that UBC has been given this strategy of informing people at any time, whatever is happening about PDM, I think PDM is going to be more successful than it has been.
People are going to know the intention and objective of parish development model. I've just been in the studio here and I have told the world that this is the only last approach of eradicating poverty within our communities.
UBC Managing Director Winston Agaba, through a statement read by Agre Barisa, the station manager at UBC West, reiterated the commitment of UBC radios and TVs to continuously educate and sensitize the Ugandan populace on the judicious utilization of PDM funds.
UBC is calling for all citizens and other key stakeholders to get involved in the PDM funds monitoring using UBC radios, televisions, and social media coverage innovation. In line with the implementation of NDP 3 Public Sector Transformation Program,
this campaign promises to play a pivotal role in achieving its noble objective of enhancing livelihoods and combating poverty.
And still to do with PDM, Mbarara City Mayor Robert Mugabe has thanked President Yoweri Museveni for his instrumental role in availing parish development to Ugandans. This after establishing that over 98% of parish development model funds has been given to the beneficiaries.
Winston Agaba, the managing director, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, says the national broadcaster is running this targeted PDM program awareness campaign across the country on how best to align the citizenry by giving them real-time information on how to benefit from this program.
UBC, as one of the key players in NDP 3,
public sector transformation, we are going to be the lead agency that is going to publicize everything about the parish development model in terms of the released amounts of money, when they are released, and also we're having a feedback mechanism where we're going to be visiting all the parishes to make sure that whatever bottlenecks there might be, we bring them to the fore of the Secretariat, the PDM, such that we come up with workable solutions in real time.
The PDM focal person in Kampala, Asia Nabisere, confirms that 97 out of 98 parishes in Kampala city have received the money on their accounts, and now they are doing the fact-findings process to assess which parishes are ready for funds disbursement.
For everybody to be at the same pace, we are doing a fact-finding on which parishes are ready, then we can be able to qualify them for the PRF disbursement. The Chief Accounting Officer is the one who is supposed to press that last button.
Otim Michael from PDM Secretariat advises the urban PDM beneficiaries to select wisely the business enterprises to invest in.
Of course, we encourage urban dwellers or city dwellers for that matter to do activities that are along any of the nodes of the agricultural value chain. And for instance, we see urban borrowers, for that matter, or beneficiaries, undertaking projects that add value or value addition.
The PDM executive members of Kampala circles acknowledge that government has indeed released PDM money to their accounts. However, they are concerned about the long and slow process of getting the finances to the intended beneficiaries.
Fenga ba chairperson baba abakulembeze tuli mukulya kava ku byalo. Abantu batubuuza kyekiddako, buli kiseera batubuuza kyekiddako. Haja tumutugambe nti bannange guno omwezi mufuna oba temufuna, oba mulindemu emyezi ebiri. Tumanye naffe abantu bagambe banaye mugumiikirizemu emyezi ebiri.
Okubala kungi, empapula ze tujjuzaako nga tuteekateeka okubala kungi. Abaatuteekedde mutuyambe, abantu mukendeeze kubala. Omuntu wanaaba anaafuna ssente nga mutegedde wa wembeera bamulondodde.
Muza mu complaininga nti ssente ziveeyo waggulu naye ffe tetuzirabako. Olwaleero ffe tuziyina. Ekintu kya corruption tekiriiyo eno ewaffe. Olw'ensonga nti tulina obukiiko nga buna oweebwa ssente. Tulina vetting, tulina supervisory, tulina abeerosi, naffe ffennyini ba chairperson. Essente zigenda kuyita mu mitendera ate tetugenda zigabira kinoomu. Tumala kwetegereza gwani asaanidde okufuna ssente ezo.
PDM is a government's initiative geared at lifting majority of Ugandans into the money economy and thus enhancing their social and economic well-being. Crispus Arinitwe, Winnie Katwire, UBC News.
That was Uganda Broadcasting Corporation hosting Kampala PDM Circle's executive members as part of its continuous efforts to enhance engagement between PDM Secretariat and the PDM program beneficiaries. Moving on, the Inspector General of Government has called upon members of the public and employees in government MDAs to report any form of poor quality service. This is as the Inspectorate of Government popularizes the Ombudsman function, which is also the Inspectorate of Government function. Betty Kamya, while addressing the media in Kampala, said selective administration in government agencies and frustration of citizens seeking services must stop. Ivan Kawa has more.
The Inspectorate of Government received 5,000 complaints of maladministration from employees working in government ministries, departments and agencies, as well as citizens seeking services during the financial year 2022-2023. Of these, 3,250 complaints were handled, with the majority being reported from local governments and the Ministry of Education and Sports.
Where teachers, many complaints come from teachers. Of course, this is one of the biggest sectors that contribute to the public service, I think almost 30%.
The most commonly reported cases include employment disputes such as non-payment of salaries and other benefits, mismanagement and victimization, abuse of authority, workplace oppression, misuse of property, indecent dressing, drunkenness while on duty, and sexual harassment.
Even within government circles, bosses mistreat their staff by maliciously taking them off the payroll and hiring unqualified staff and promoting them over or at the expense of some old or qualified staff. Some demand favors like sex or money before they treat their staff fairly. All this kind of selective administration is a violation of the principle of integrity.
The Inspectorate of Government is now rallying citizens and government employees to expose public servants who abuse their offices and mistreat employees. This is being done to popularize the functions of the Ombudsman, a public official appointed by the government to investigate complaints raised by citizens.
Under the Ombuds function, the government appoints an Ombudsman who, in the case of Uganda, also doubles as the Inspector General of Government. So through the Ombudsman function, the Inspectorate of Government monitors the quality of service rendered by government to the public.
Citizens or public employees dissatisfied with the conduct of public officials can report to the IGG, who resolves complaints through recommendations, mediation, and systematic interventions affecting services.
Behind every case of corruption, there is a maladministration matter. Therefore, the Ombudsman protects the aggrieved people against powerful, in quotes, government officials, since there are already designed systems to address issues between the parties.
The IGG also urged security agencies to respect journalists while executing their media duties.
You see, it's not that
we can change like a chameleon. You see us?
No way.
They're deadly people.
Police harassing journalists while they are on duty is a violation of their rights. Even the president has said it often. And the way they are handled is also a question for investigation. But on the other side, journalists, I suppose, for them, they have to give the story. They're giving the story. Whether who broke the law or who didn't break the law, journalists are there to give the story as they see it. And indeed, we shall also be focusing, especially now that we have opened up this channel to the public. Please be vigilant. Make sure that you see the person who has violated your rights. If you can, take their number and their name and report them, and then we shall deal with the person.
Uganda will join the rest of the world in commemorating World Ombuds Day on 12th October 2023 to raise citizens' awareness of the Ombudsman's role in ensuring quality service delivery. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News.
Police in Lira have fired tear gas to disperse Christians belonging to Yahweh Pentecostal Mission. They had stormed the street saying they were delivering their petition to the RCC's office. Several believers were injured in the scuffle.
Christians belonging to Yahweh Pentecostal Mission in Lira today left their church at LPC to storm the street, a procession they say was to welcome the representative of the president. On their way, they were met by police who asked them to return to the church.
My request and humble request to you is that you get back to the church. Wait for those visitors from where? From there, my elders.
The exchanges resulted into action by police who fired tear gas to repel the Christians back to their place of worship.
Let the police stay there. We are Christian. We don't have guns. We don't have everything. We are empty-handed. And we are waiting for our goods.
Many believers sustained injuries, although by press time, police had not yet established their numbers.
The number was quite huge, and such a movement amounts to illegal procession, which within the law there are procedures that one must go through. There was already a lead team of about 20 people who had already taken the document that the RFCC had already received. Now we were wondering from an angle of another team moving with placards coming to the office of the RFCC. This is something that beats our understanding.
The protesting Christians later retreated to their headquarters at LPC, while their leaders had already gone ahead to deliver the petition to the RCC Lawrence Gole.
I have received and have pledged to them that I'll make sure the petition reaches the hand of the President.
Yahweh Pentecostal Mission, a breakaway group from PAG Mission, has been wrangling with its mother church over the ownership of properties within Lango sub-region. A court order has been secured by PAG to seize back over 200 properties, a decision which Yahweh has since protested.
We are not ready to surrender our land. We are not ready to surrender our churches. Let someone come and kill us from here. We are so negative, and we are going to be parallel until God comes back.
Recently, the court bailiff mandated to execute the order decried lack of support from security.
The RCC is insufferable. He looks at money more than what he's supposed to do. Today, we have not executed that warrant in Lira.
Everybody knows the tension. Ramukaga, like I said, is doing business. He doesn't know. After his business, he will pick his money and walk away. But what happens after he's already gone?
The matter still remains lethal, with the several attacks and counterattacks, especially on Sundays. Some people now want the intervention of the president into the 10 years of church conflict. Ed Yolwa, UBC News.
And the Vice President Jessica Lupo has commissioned the construction of 2 community roads to facilitate the movement of people and goods in Katakwi. Lupo explains that government through the Ministry of Transport and Works and Transport is committed to promoting transport infrastructure.
During the commissioning, the construction of Getomu-Toroma roads, Major Jessica Lupo revealed that roads, air and other means of transport are a catalyst to development.
The next thing which I'm going to tell these people is for them to produce, to make products which can be used. These roads can be used to take those products to the market. Your railway will be their products to the market. The air transport, when Soroti comes and becomes a regional airport, we want to transport our oranges from the factory to Europe. And that's the reason why there is a very strong connection between these triggers of development with the community. The road can take you to school, the road can take you to hospital, the road can take you to the market.
Government has not only prioritized road transport, but also railway transport, which she said is affordable to many and carry heavy load, hence protecting roads from being damaged.
The rail transport will lower the cost of transporting goods from point A to point B. But most importantly, it will also enhance now you in the protection and ensuring that the tarmac roads that you are making take a long time, have a long life, because then heavy goods will be shifted to rail transport. So you can see you are talking about things which do not affect only one generation, but generations and generations to come.
Some of the local leaders appreciated government for its commitment to rehabilitating roads in their area.
I'm really very, very happy. What I know, this road is going to actually change the livelihood of the common man, because we have a population down there where this road is heading. When they want to come this side, going to a Chorumongini market, actually the business is going to improve now.
It is a great opportunity for us
because we were having difficulties of transportation.
Meanwhile, State Minister for Works, Musa Echeru, said they have prepared enough material that can sustain the roads in good shape despite the heavy rains.
As a ministry, what we have done, we have imported a lot of culverts. We have brought into the country a lot of culverts. Those culverts are on standby to address some of the challenges that El Nino will cause, because it is going to wash off some bridges, it's going to make break some of the roads that are critical in linking the country.
Katakwi is one of the districts that has benefited from road rehabilitation, where the Ministry of Works has rehabilitated roads that include Usuku, Ongongoja, 15 kilometer, Akuret, Omodoi, 3 kilometers, Getom, Abonget, 4.3 kilometers, among others. I'm Nafka Farida, Andiga Muhammad.
And with that, we take a quick break. When we return, more details.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge.
Wano nno tuli Bukoto era lero we tugenda okaba pichi yaffe eri omwanguzi waffe wano we tuzze.
I'm so excited and I'm sure even all the people, all the staff at Kwaliwath are all excited. We thank you very, very much.
Myaka 25 nga MTN ewereza naye nga buli week tugaba pichi 5.
Very, very excited. I'm excited about MTN giving back to its customers. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much, MTN.
The fact that we have won really shows that people like Mama. Their services are really nice. MTN, your services are okay. The network is good. We are satisfied.
Chikola sense ne?
Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
In this family, we can't agree on anything. We can't even agree on what to watch. All the games to play.
Martha.
Ndoza Mulabi. We can't even agree on what to eat. At least the one thing for now we can all agree on is the soap to use. He likes that it's big and lasts long. Anti-economy. I like that it keeps my skin smooth. Ate alina echovu. And the children like that. It smells amazing. Everyone is happy. Movit soap comes in 4 fantastic flavors. Movit family soap is truly soap for the whole family.
Movit. All day confidence.
So, you are ready to invest in Airtel's initial public offering? Good choice. I'm going to show you how to do it straight from your phone. First, you're going to want to make sure you have a Securities Central Depository SCD account. Dial *185*85# from your Airtel number. Choose Airtel IPO purchase from the available options. Enter your valid national identification number when prompted. Before you purchase, there are a few things you need to know. The minimum purchase is 2,500 shares. The share price is 100 Uganda shillings. Select the number of shares you wish to purchase. Choose your relevant broker for the purchase. Enter your Airtel Money PIN to confirm the transaction. Congratulations! You receive a confirmation message of your successful purchase.
Sebo.
Yes?
This is the bill.
What?
Malaria testing, 10,000. Treatment, 100,000 since we put on drip.
Hey, Musao, can you read this for me? Before I brought my wife here, I'd already spent money on buying herbal medicine and drugs from the pharmacy, which didn't work.
But Sebo, the government gave out mosquito nets. Doesn't your family use them?
We got the mosquito nets, but they got holes and we didn't know what to do.
Protect your loved ones from malaria. Sew your mosquito nets whenever they get damaged to keep the mosquitoes away. Ensure all nets are tied up every morning to avoid damaging them. Ensure that everyone in your family sleeps under a treated mosquito net every night, whether it is a cold or hot season. Together, we can chase malaria out of Uganda. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from Global Fund.
No malaria will catch.
Did you know that you can safely and conveniently make your school fees payments anytime, any school, anywhere using Airtel Money? Oh yes! Simply pick up your phone and dial *185#. Select option 6, school fees. Choose between school pay, peg pay, or shore pay. Enter student number. Enter amount, confirm name and transaction. Enter Airtel Money PIN. A confirmation message will be sent to you upon a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back. You are still watching News Tonight. Environmental workers to the 700-kilometer Nile walk have crossed the Nile via Lake Choga, covering 500 kilometers of the whole distance. The team met and held discussions with leaders of the fishing community at Namasale landing site, where issues like fishermen abuse, floating islands and heavy floods were aired.
Day 14 of the ongoing 700-kilometer Nile Basin walk found the walkers at Namasale landing site after covering 45 kilometers from Amulata Town Council Tuesday this week. The walkers held engagements with the community with the aim of collecting views about the management of the Nile while conserving it.
So those are some of the reasons what we want to, some of the issues that we want to know. And you give us also your views.
Plus its biodiversity. A number of issues were raised, but the alleged inhuman manner in which the UPDF Marine Force handles fishermen stood out. The representative of the elders could not help but shed tears.
The landing sites are Paul Kanamelika Chesky, Paul. Paul. It didn't want Paul, Mahdi prison. You look at the deal.
While the government wants to improve our economy, and we are failing because of electricity. Meanwhile, Uganda is the one supplying power in all these neighboring countries. So we are seeing why we are suffering when we are the also getting resource.
Floating islands causing most of the marine accidents on Lake Choga during rainy and windy seasons were also highlighted. Godfrey Ayena, the chairman LC3 Namasale landing site, proposed the need for tree planting in buffer zones to counter the heavy winds that at times cause havoc to the community.
The other challenges which we experience every year when it's raining and when the wind is too much, most of our fishermen suffer a lot because the water is too deep, it is running very fast. So giving the planting trees within the buffer zone, I think that one will help in the protection of the Nile.
At Zengebe landing site, the problems faced here were not different from those raised at Namasale.
Government etuyambe at least ezeo bafish guard babe bakola omulimu gwabwe ku nyanja naye nga amaje gandibadde gavwako kyensaba kyokka
obutimba mutwetera obutimba naye mwe muli obutimba mubabonye tabuti obutimba butunde ate mu busimanyi obusitanke kati bye bikyemi.
Matthias Kakumba, the area leader, Zengebe landing site, has some proposals.
Nsabye ki emidimo giri amaza g'omudimo gabune buli maka kimbadde nsaba naye omuvubi mukyafu yasengayo obukyafu amayumba getusulako tegalina ki toilet kyova olaba omuntu omuvubi tapangisa ennyumba n'agenda wa ku kibalama kasasiro yenna gwe bataddeeyo n'agenda wa mu nyanja.
After crossing from Lango to Buganda, the walkers are optimistic that they will beat the deadline come Monday next week. I'm Nafka Farida and Dokas Kimono.
Our Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomonsi, has encouraged job seekers in Uganda to take advantage of the upcoming second National ICT Job Fair set for the 17th and 18th of October at Kololo. The job fair will serve as a platform for seminars, discussions and training sessions focused on evolving technologies. It will also create opportunities for networking and job prospects. The event is expected to be honored by this head of state, President Yoweri Museveni.
Already brought your machines here, and this job fair partially addresses that concern of enabling our young people have access to employment opportunities. This job fair aims to bridge the gap between job seekers, the ICT field, and prospective employers. And it provides a unique platform for our talented young people to showcase their skills, interact with leading industry players, and explore various career opportunities within the ICT sector. Furthermore, it aligns with our digital transformation roadmap and vision of making Uganda a hub for technology and innovation in the region. Basically, what the job fair entails is that we invite different partners in the industry to come and do like an exhibition, and then provide space for young people, especially those who would want to do internship, who would want to seek job opportunities, now to interface with these various companies and organizations, and then through communication exchanges, the young people get to know where the opportunities are. So in summary, that's what the job fair is all about.
And the Uganda Embassy Chancery building in Somalia capital Mogadishu has been commissioned during a ceremony hosted by the Ugandan ambassador to Somalia, Professor Sam Turiamhika. The event at the base camp was attended by the African Union Special Representative for Somalia and head of ATMIS, Ambassador Mohamed El Amin Suwef, and Uganda's Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, John Mulimba, among others. It is here that Ugandan peacemakers serving with the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia also joined their countrymen to celebrate Uganda's 61st independence anniversary in Mogadishu.
I get not only the privilege to be the guest of honor today and celebrate with the government and the people of Uganda on behalf of my government, the President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, the Somali people. On behalf of all of them, I would like to congratulate the government and the people of Uganda for their 61st anniversary of their independence. Your support has enabled us to develop, albeit still needs improvement, the capabilities to successfully fight this dangerous terrorist group that does not only risk the survival of the Somali state and society, but also is a threat and a menace to the region and to the globe. I think the case of Somalia, with your support, offers a successful story where countrymen and women with support from their regional brothers are at last winning against a very deadly enemy.
Uganda remains an ardent supporter for strengthening the regional, sub-regional organizations such as the African Union, East African Community, and many others. From 2007, Uganda was the first to contribute troops to liberation of Somalia and remains a major troop contributing country in the fight against terrorism in Somalia. We fully support the government of the Federal Republic of Somalia and its commitment to fight terrorism.
I take this opportunity to congratulate Uganda, to congratulate the government and the people of Uganda. And on top of that, today they opened an embassy, a new mission, a new chancery here in Mogadishu, which show a lot of things that they are with the Somalis. They will continue to be the Somalis.
Now, Startup Uganda, working with Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, has announced 22nd and to the 24th of November for the Uganda Innovation Week 2023 at the National ICT Innovation Hub in Nakawa. This year's theme focuses on unlocking opportunities for entrepreneurs in the digital economy with proper linkage to potential investors.
Uganda Innovation Week seeks to provide opportunity of business-to-business engagement where corporations highlight various collaboration opportunities for digital innovation.
But what does that really mean for an entrepreneur? How can you walk out of the Innovation Week with relevance? How do we make sure that we forge partnerships that make sense for you? So whether it's an investment, whether it's in understanding some key things in the digital space that you can better tap into.
Internal mechanisms and systems that can actually support these innovators to identify their own challenges and design strategic interventions to overcome these challenges is very, very critical.
The emphasis this year is based on the venture capital funding in East Africa as a catalyst of innovation, economic growth, and empowering local entrepreneurs to realize their aspirations in the fourth industrial revolution.
So we need to talk about scaling. What does that mean to build scalable businesses that you can actually trade in Zambia and in the region and think beyond these borders? So when we talk about investor deal rooms, what that also brings, it brings you a different mindset to stop thinking small. All right, I have this little health tech idea. It's nudging you to say, all right, if you get this ticket size, what else can you do? You know, it's master classes that are helping you realize that, all right, I can be onboarded on this e-platform that helps me scale beyond the community that I was already working in. And when you scale, then you're employing more people.
And see how we can come back stronger, collaborate and form this growing community of startups in Uganda, but also across the globe.
To redefine Uganda's industrial sector, entrepreneurs are encouraged to embrace technology and innovation for the architecture of the digital future. The Innovation Week, which begins on the 22nd to 24th of November, is expected to provide startups with regional linkages.
A new version comes up, and so how do we keep our entrepreneurs at the pace that they can be able to adapt as everything is evolving? Success of innovation is not just about having the coolest technology, but how are you solving the challenges that we face as a community, as a country?
For startups to thrive in the aspirations of digital economy, public-private partnership is emphasized and the integration of digital tech into their businesses. This year's Uganda Innovation Week is under the theme, Adapt or Be Left Behind, the digital economy and the opportunities it presents for the Ugandan entrepreneurs. Komagum Rogers for UBC News.
The National Children's Authority leadership has urged parents and leaders to take extra care of girls in their homes and communities to enable them grow up with proper guidance. This is after reports indicated that the number of children between the ages of 15 and 18 are now mothers.
Children dropping out of school are increasing by day reportedly due to lack of pads, parental negligence and premature pregnancy.
But as National Children Authority, we have put in place a program of targeting the parents in the communities, sensitizing the parents of their role in coming up with mechanisms of talking to their children and encouraging children to get to appreciate the need to attend education, but again to support the girl child in accessing affordable sanitary pads.
In this regard, the Executive Director of the National Children's Authority says any unquote child neglect related case will be dealt with according to the law.
Those engaged in abusing our children, defiling children, the long arm of the law will catch up with you, especially the men who have taken advantage of deceiving and confusing children, our girl children, into sex. And we are calling upon parents and the children themselves that government has put up the National Child Helpline 116. If there is any risk to abuse, or abuse for that matter, please dial 116. It is a child helpline toll free.
He also explained about the National Children's Authority's efforts to reduce the dropout rates.
We also encourage community leaders like Secretary for Children Affairs, Women Affairs, Women in Development. We've been meeting them in ensuring that they come on board in appreciating the needs of the girl child and talk to the girl child, sensitize the children.
She's urged girls to avoid getting involved in sexual activities because it could lead to problems.
We are saying that girls must ensure that they don't engage in early sex. They should not allow to get involved in early marriages, and this equally goes to the boy child. We are saying that boys should equally be aware of and respect their bodies and make sure that they don't engage in issues pertaining to early sex.
He urged parents to take advantage of government programs such as UP and USE for their children rather than leaving them to be destroyed in their communities.
Tubaniriza mu Jinja Central Market twide wano okubanga twedusa abantu okuwaayo kumbaga ya mwenemu nga bakozesa momope katuje mu Jinja Central Market sobola okubanga tuwayana abatyamye momope neri kwogeza abantu obwama
tamu ndalo otemu mukaga otemu itanga otemu sita onige isatu onige ash onige yes. Aye nga tuwayo tikashi nga tuwayo nga tubita ku momope enkola ya MTN miga 70
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cash back every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165 *3#.
Doctor says you are getting better. I have a list of suspects in my file here, but I need you to help me identify the thief who attacked you.
This cat thief again. Malaria is a thief. Don't let it rob you and your loved ones. Prevent it by sleeping under a mosquito net. Clear bushes and all stagnant water around you. If you notice any symptoms, go to a health center near you to test and treat, and ensure to complete your full dose to avoid severe malaria, which could lead to death.
Hello,
mom, how did you sleep? How is Salongo? Oh, mommy, how is grandma? And Simba, the dog, yeah, the funny one.
Call Bona on any network in Uganda with Airtel Bona voice bundles. Dial *100*1#, select Call Bona to choose bundles from as low as 1,000 shillings from daily, weekly, monthly, or bundles that don't expire. Call Bona on any network in Uganda with Airtel. A reason to imagine.
Welcome back. Let's talk business. Uganda Business and Technical Examinations Board and the Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers have signed a memorandum of understanding aimed at establishing a framework for cooperation to improve the learning experience of UPTEB graduates and enhance their competitiveness and employability. Under the memorandum, both parties will collaborate in various areas, including the development of assessment standards, continuous review of training, industrial training, that is, monitoring of assessment in training institutions, and joint curriculum design.
Uganda Business and Technical Examinations Board and the Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers have entered a partnership focusing on promoting work ethics, advocating for technician practice regulation, and fostering continuous professional development in the engineering profession.
And this is in fulfillment of the objectives of the TVET 2019 policy, whereby we should be working in tripartite. We have the practitioners, they should get involved in assessment. We have those in training, they should be getting involved in assessment. The ministry should be knowing what is going on. So that at the end of it all, by the time we churn out some of our graduates, even those who are going to work with them will know what they have gone through. And we shall be involving them in assessment, in looking at the curriculum reviews, looking at even in training they will be involved. But at the beginning, that they will be working with us in assessment.
The collaboration addresses the critical need for synergy between examination boards and professional bodies to ensure that graduates meet industry standards.
They will be helping us to make sure that our students are also placed in where these engineers are working. So it is one of the objectives also which we shall work together and ensure that as they look for attachment, it is soft landing. They know that this is from, these are students being assessed by UBT, but at the same time, we are working with their institute, so it is easier.
The memorandum of understanding is set to remain in force until terminated by either party with a 3-month notice.
This MOU was to create a formal framework that can help us even bring all our strengths on either side to full bore. And this MOU is an enabler. It is the formal engagement, and within this framework we shall look at how to strengthen aspects of industrial training.
UBTEB's Executive Secretary Onesmus Oyesije expressed joy at the constructive partnership, emphasizing its importance for addressing industry expectations and enhancing professionalism among artisans, technicians and trainees.
But currently, these members of the Uganda Institute of Professional Engineers has offered to register all of them, and that helps. That helps. Who caters for their continuous professional development? Where are they? What are they doing? According to what standards? All that has not been there.
The collaboration signals a commitment to advancing skills development for socio-economic transformation in Uganda. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Meanwhile, women entrepreneurs in the country have been urged to elevate from small-scale to large-scale businesses to ensure increased productivity and a wider market for their products across the world. This was communicated during a roundtable discussion between the UN Women Uganda and a delegation of Chinese businesswomen aimed at establishing business linkages.
Unlike women in the formal sector, on various occasions women in the informal sector have been seen operating on a small scale with little or no profits at all, a thing which affects their productivity and economic growth. In a bid to improve on this, by providing wider business opportunities for women in business and strengthening women-owned enterprises, the UN Women Uganda has hosted a delegation of Chinese businesswomen through their umbrella, the Hunan Women's Federation.
We expect to come up with a number of programs that can benefit the women in agribusiness, women here in Uganda. We also expect participation from the Women Federation or their counterparts in China to attend also the Women in Agribusiness Summit and Expo. And they mentioned that if we want, for instance, the equipment, machinery, they can supply to some of the women.
The UN Women Uganda country representative, Dr. Paulina Chiwango, says this engagement is timely.
And that it's very important to have cooperative, to work together. They mentioned today that the demand is high. You heard from some of the women in business here, they mentioned what kind of product they have. But then the Chinese answered and say, you know, we have some Uganda who have products in China, but the problem, they cannot meet the demand.
The chairperson of Hunan Women's Federation says this courtesy visit aims at strengthening the China-Uganda cooperation and also to explore opportunities for Ugandan products.
The sister city after the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and Uganda. And up to now, there is also a primary school sponsored by Changsha, which is located at Taipei.
The government of Uganda have also put in place various policies and frameworks that have seen women flourish in businesses, as Angela Nakafe of the Commission Agenda and Women Affairs explains.
That form the basis for women to participate in enterprise development. You've seen recent legal reforms that are really very critical. For instance, the Succession Amendment Act is one of the laws that are really very critical in terms of securing women's investments. Our flagship programs for women entrepreneurship development. The Uganda Women Entrepreneurship Program is vital. It has mobilized millions of women to start income-generating activities.
This comes at a time when the UN Women Uganda is in preparations of holding the Women in Agribusiness Expo and Investment Summit come November 21st, 2023. This engagement was also attended by representatives from Private Sector Foundation, DFCU Bank, and Uganda Women Entrepreneurs, among others, who exchanged ideas on the betterment of women in business in Uganda. Rebecca Natongo, UBC News.
Well, and that does it for News Tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi on Sign Language, Elizabeth Nakakoni. Have yourselves a lovely night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.